Welcome back. Thanks for watching the channel. Unscripted, unedited. We just fly by the seat of our pants and we learn as we go. There will be some bolts stripped and some feelings hurt because we put a new carb on our LS engine. Welcome to Big Easy Garage. Enjoy the show. Oh yeah, she's gonna rip. All right, so during the holiday break, we had a ton of parts that showed up, and we're still actually waiting on several more, but just want to show you what we got going on, what we plan on doing with it, and then we're going to jump to it and get it installed on this truck. So let me spin you around and show you what we got. All right, here's what we got so far. Must have been pretty good this year, so we got quite a bit. We still haven't installed the fuel tank, but we did get the sending unit in the fuel tank and got it ready to go. But we've got to clean up the straps. And I was looking for a cheap alternative for the rubber surround that goes around the straps. Basically, that just keeps it from being noisy. So I went to local hardware store, Lowe's, and picked up this rubber pipe wrap. They have two different types of pipe wrap, but this is an actual rubber pipe wrap. And I picked up one strand that was like $5. And then I picked up I don't know where it's at, but I picked up some double-sided sticky tape that I'm just going to use to attach it to the straps while I put it down. And then I'm sure the tape will disintegrate later on, but that's going to last us quite a while underneath the truck. And it was $5 and, opposed to 25 bucks or 30 bucks. Next thing is we got a crank sensor from Delphi. We've got our transmission pan gasket. Now this is a Moroso. It has the metal liner in it, so it's nice and rigid. A lot of the newer vehicles are using those type of gaskets. They're lasting longer. A lot of them are reusable. And then the one we had was a paper gasket, and it was just tearing. It was crap. So we're going to put a new one of these in there. Got some Bosch Platinum plugs for it. I understand you're supposed to run iridium, or OEM says run iridium, but the platinum's still a precious metal, still going to give us a good spark with that. They're preset gap, and there's plenty enough for the motor. Next up is the transmission dipstick tube. Ours got repainted and looks really good, but I didn't install it before I put the engine in, and that was a mistake on my part. So we got this universal one, but it's for a $700 R4. It's just universal mount because you can put it in after the fact. Got us a cheap grease gun and some Valvoline high temp grease. That's going to go in all of the front drag link and tie rod ends and all that. So we're going to get those tightened up and greased in. Got us an idler pulley here, and then the ICT bolts for that. And then of course we still had to install our fuel pump. So anyways, got quite a bit of work ahead of me, but let me get in here, jump in, and we'll get this knocked out, and then we'll show you the progress. You don't want to see me do all this. You've seen all of this 100 times, so let's jump in and get it done. One more thing that we picked up during the holiday season that we didn't have in the shop was an air compressor. And it's just an inexpensive McGraw air compressor, but it's a 21-gallon. Recovery rate was like 4 minutes and 30 seconds, which is not bad. It'll run all of our high pressure, low value, blah, 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 blah. HPLV spray guns. It'll run impact wrenches. And the guy that I talked to at the store runs a small grinder on it and said it worked fine. So until we get the money and get powered out and all that and decide to do a stationary, we're going to run this McGraw right here. I'll let you know how it does, but I really have high hopes for the price. It was really good. We knocked it out with one of their holiday sales, so we saved a bunch of money on it. It's got, I think, 175 is the max PSI on it. I think it's going to work really well. So we'll keep you updated on that. But anyway, we're going to get back to work. One thing when you're installing spark plugs, especially into aluminum heads, make sure you put just a touch of anti-seize right on the thread. You don't have to use much, but it'll help you out in the future. Just a little tech tip that we learned, and I just wanted to pass it on to you guys. So here we go. Add a little bit in. And we're gonna thread this old girl right in. All right, we just finished installing the crank sensor, and we've got the old transmission pan gasket off. Well, it was a new one that wasn't a good one that we decided to change to this Moroso metal line rubber one. You guys saw that. Anyway, we got the transmission pan painted up. We're gonna go up under the truck now, get that installed. So you guys come along and follow us, and let's get it done. Yeah, we're just installing a new transmission pan gasket, and I'm just barely putting these in with the impact. I'm gonna come back and actually tighten them down with the ratchet. So don't you worry, be happy. Son of a gun, get back here. Yep, get back here. Oof, the man. Hey, Dad, I need that pan of bolts back here in the back. It's a pan of bolts back here in the back, please. Can't reach it. Can't reach it, son. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, got more bolts. Ready to do the thing. Mounted wow. Safety first, children. Safety classes, safety squints. Do. Yeah. Well, 37 more bolts to go. Transmission pan gaskets in, crank sensors installed. We're going to work on top of the motor a little bit, and we're going to install our new Holley Carburetor. Let me spin you around and show you what we got. We're working with a new Holley. It's a Street Warrior 600 CFM carb. It's got a vacuum secondary, electric choke, just a basic single fuel inlet. You know, it's one of their refurb units, but hey man, there was 40 different reviews on this thing. Every single one of them was a 5-star review. We want to mount this up first just to kind of double check to make sure our linkages don't have anything binding, that our throttle body blades are going to work fine. And doing that, just barely setting it up here, I've noticed that it's going to hit our MSD box. So we're going to have to move our MSD box, probably, I don't know, firewall, fender well, inside something. So we're going to knock that out, and then we're going to mock this up, make sure it's good, and then we'll throw the gaskets on and tighten it all up. So stay tuned, and we'll get this rolling. Welcome back to the shop. I've got to confess, it's been a few weeks since we filmed last. I sustained an injury and I had to get over that and kind of get healed up. So we did a little bit of work here and there, and we're going to show you what we got going on. I think when we left off last time, we were trying to install the carburetor. So let me spin you around and show you what we got going on so far. We've done a pretty good bit of work, but it's been small, minor stuff. So let me spin you around and show you what's going on. All right, here's our fuel system. So I think the last time we saw the fuel system, we had the sending unit in the tank, but the tank wasn't installed. The straps weren't installed. We didn't have a filler neck, which we did get a new filler neck hose here. And of course, gas cap that we needed. Got all new fittings. That's all done up. We've got fuel hose in there. I've still got to button up some of that and connect some hosing, some hoses, as you can see down there, kind of get that buttoned up, but we're working on that. Started pulling some wires through here from the instrument cluster and trying to get those gauges kind of wired in. Got some a water temp sensor here. Of course, we got our plugs, our plug wires, coil packs, We've got our exhaust manifolds on. We're working on trying to get all this buttoned up, but we've got the power steering pump in. I've got to pull that off and then do some other work to it that I forgot, but got that in. We got a belt. Thermostat is in. The Holley Carburetor is in. It's bolted down. I do have to get a provision for the back for the throttle cable and the TV cable, but it's bolted in. I actually picked up a provision, but it was milled wrong, so I've got an actual Holley part coming in. Fuel hose, fuel filter, all that's done. Here's a better look at those plug wires and plugs. Now we just did the standard, I think these are AC Delco plug wires, but they fit good. If you twist the back side right here, you can kind of get, if you've got something leaning on a header, you can move these around. This is just a little tip that I learned, to kind of keep these away from, if one's folded over close to the manifold or the header, you can kind of move those around and get those to where they're not touching. Of course, we've got our dipstick in for our engine oil, and then we also have our transmission dipstick in there. I've still got some wiring to clean up, obviously, but that's going on pretty good. But yeah, we're waiting on an inner fender for the driver's side. I ordered one and got sent the wrong one by accident. No big deal. Got it straightened out and actually have it coming in tonight. So when we get it, we'll coat it, we'll undercoat it, we'll paint it, we'll get everything set up, and then we'll get that whole fender and inner fender set in. And so we can take and put our MSD box, we're going to use a 4-channel solid state MSD controller or relay rather, and we're going to run all these wires that we need to off of that, kind of clean up the harness, get everything wired in there. Only thing I've got to do now, I've got power steering lines that I've got to make. We got everything for that. I've just got to get a few last minute tools for that. So I'll have the power steering done. And then just a bracket for the throttle cable and TV cable. And we're not running AC right now, but we will run an AC relocated bracket later. And then we've already got the course port, the radiator, AC condenser, and everything else. So I think we're looking pretty good. I got to get a starter, but I do have the starter bolts. So just a few parts. I've got to get some more fuel hose for that gas tank, and then we'll get it plumbed in and then get the power wire ran to the relay. And I do have the sending unit already plugged in, hooked up. I've got to set up a ground for our sending unit here, and then I've got another ground for the power or the ground wire for the fuel pump. So we're looking really good, getting dialed in really quick. A few more weeks and we'll have this thing buttoned up. I got to get some drive shaft U-joints cleaned up, drive shafts cleaned up, and then the U-joints put in, and then that'll be that. So anyway, that's what you see. That's the progress we've made so far, and we'll just keep rocking and rolling. As you can see, we've done a lot of little things to the truck, and it's actually coming along really well. Starting to get nice weather here in the south part of the United States. We've got some good 70-degree days, not too hot, not too cold, just perfect. Got some good parts coming in, so got to get some hoses, got to get some connections. The inner fender is going to be one thing that we got to work on, but like I said, in the next few weeks, I'm not able to do a whole lot of work right now, just because I'm still healing from the injury, and I'm still waiting on parts to come in and just different things. But we're going to get there. Just give us time. Hopefully, to have this thing running really quick. So I don't know. We're doing pretty good. I like the progress that's happening. My main goal is to get this thing ready for Cruising the Coast 2025, which is in October. I mean, we're in March now. So, I mean, you got plenty of time to do that. But just, stay tuned for the next episode. Appreciate you guys watching, hanging out, commenting, just letting us know what's going on. I really wanted just to document, this K10 build and kind of give people the encouragement to get out there and do it on your own. I don't know anything about this stuff. I just learn as I go, and that's what you should do too. In my opinion, don't take my word for for law, it's a grain of salt. But I just want to encourage you guys to get out there and do what you're comfortable with, what you know how to do. And if you don't know how to do something, do some research and have a good time figuring it out with your friends and your family and, building something with your hands. Either way, thanks for watching and stay tuned for our next video. You have a good one.